So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. And 1, 2, 1, 2. What are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna see if this works. As you can see, nothing is open so far. This is Sweden. And I do have some translations to do. So I'm faring off from Sweden to the neighboring kingdom of Denmark. It's about 5 o'clock. 4:50 to be more precise. And you saw that the gas station is still closed, but as you know, it's Sweden, and a lot of people are already up. Well, not a lot, but some people are already up, and they're not just up early, they're up crazy early. We've seen already a couple of cars passing by, and now we are on this wonderful road. What would be the good thing? The good thing in here is that on top of just experiencing this, you could be also feeling a morning. I think it's a bit of sunrise. It should be just about right now. Yes, the sky is rather cloudy. It might not be as apparent as it would be otherwise, of course, if it would be a sunny day. But still, it's Öresund's bridge, a bridge across the sound of Öresund between Denmark and Sweden. And if anyone has ever seen that movie, there's actual movie, it's like a detective movie. Detectives are actually not my kind of genre, like criminal movie, detective movies, and all this kind of stuff. It's just that it made it very, very famous, and now people all over the world know if you tell them, oh, have you seen that movie called The Bridge? And most of people, of course, will know about the movie called The Bridge. Now, you better watch out, because it's a little bit wet around here, and since it's wet, I'll also need to sneeze, because there's so much stuff blooming, you can't even imagine. As you can see on the side of the road, there's plenty of very, very lush colors. Everything is truly beautiful. So insanely, intensely green. And already quite many fruits are bearing. There have been first strawberries gathered for about a month ago, which was crazy early. It was in the beginning of May. Yeah, so we had already some strawberries in Sweden in the beginning of May, and it was gathered not in some kind of greenhouse but on a free land, which for Swedish conditions, of course, is absolutely amazing. Now, some of the weather conditions, you can imagine by the trees that there is a bit of wind, not much, but a bit of wind. I would go with maybe 5 to 7 centimeters of wind per second. And since it's early morning, it is 10 degrees. But knock on wood, we might end up somewhere around 15 or maybe as far up as 17. But it's not gonna be anywhere near 20. It's quite funny actually that most of the times the difference between day and night is relatively small. It's about 5-7 degrees. Oh, now actually we just passed by a mosque, one of the biggest mosques in Malmö called Ahmadiyya. It's some 5-6 floors tall mosque, and it has some of the other sort of constructions around it. It's not just a mosque, but with some other sort of buildings surrounding. And those people are mostly from, I think, places like India, and something similar to that. So they're somewhere from the Hindustan. I can't precisely tell you from where everyone is. And now we are slowly starting to approach places which are relatively close to the bridge. And if you're ever here, then you should take note to your right, because in about 2 kilometers we will be approaching this place, which is very good for eating if you're going out of Sweden. It's an exit, and it has about 10 different sort of vendors, which are all like fast food. So you will have like Pizza Hut, you will have Chip Chop, you will have your McDonald's, there is a Shell, there is a 7-Eleven, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Subway, so really wide selection. So it's Lockarp, as you can see, on your right now. It's coming, and it's a really good place because it has really, like, I don't know, 8 or 10 different kinds of fast food. And if you're gonna want to go to Denmark, and before going to Denmark you want to have last juicy sort of drive off and have your last moments of guilty pleasures inside the Swedish kingdom, well, that would be it. And as you can see, it's getting lighter and lighter by the minute. And right now, that's one of the last exit in Sweden. And it says, whoa, very strict rules. It warns you about new and much stricter rules for entering Denmark. And of course, I'm kind of aware of it. So I don't know. I mean, one's got to try and see if it will work or if it won't work. And I need to do some work. So we'll see. That's the kind of avenue, one might say. This is the kind of gamble, one might say. Maybe they'll say that my work, which I'm about to do, is not important enough, or maybe they will. Yeah. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, this is very exciting. Now, as you can see, there was a toll or customs, tull in Swedish, but in English, if you would pronounce it, toll probably, because it's T-U-L-L. That's the way Swedes spell customs. And now we have a sign. It's approximately 35 kilometers to Copenhagen and 25 kilometers left to the airport, to the Danish airport called Kastrup. And this is the last exit to Sweden. If I would want to, I would pull over here. And look, I did not pull. So we're going straight to Denmark. I don't know how about you, but my adrenaline is pumping. This is so exciting. And I hope you like it. I hope you do, just like me, so we could sort of feel that we're doing it together, me and you. Yeah. And this is the final stretch. This is the final sign telling us about that it's 31 kilometers to Copenhagen and 19 kilometers to the Copenhagen airport, Kastrup. Now, of course, here we can see that they start to film us, so we had to slightly slow down, because they're kind of telling you that, yeah, from here you should sort of keep it to the dot and everything like that. And yeah, I normally drive quite normally. I don't speed or anything, but yeah, occasionally maybe, a centimeter or two on my foot, and you end up sort of driving a kilometer or two too fast, sort of, but everything is good. Now it's 70, we're slowing down, and that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's the customs. Oh yeah. Oh ho 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 ho. Sweet, sweet customs. I have not been under those signs for many months. It has been, I don't know what. Well, it was actually the last day when I was out in Denmark. It was the very, very, very last day. It was the day when they were closing out. So I came I came into Denmark an hour or two before it was still open. So by the time I was driving out of Denmark, it was already the day when the in-travel from Sweden to Denmark was already closed, but there was no problem getting out. And now we have a sign. What does that say? It says, drive carefully, keep the distance. So, ladies and gentlemen, 40, what is it, 40? I think 40 euros. It's about 40 euros to enter this magical place. And here we are. Please get your value. Get your okay, I forgot. You don't pay, I pay. Well, then I will be enjoying the value for money, but you'll hopefully have value for your time. As you can see, it's getting lighter and lighter, and we are seeing the pylons of the Öresund Bridge. It is pylons which are featured in very many movies, especially about Malmö. This is kind of like the big connection between Sweden and Denmark. Those pylons are the symbol of what's keeping our countries together. And then there is some naughty man who drove in front of me. I don't know why he drove in front of me. He didn't win much on it. And it's just me and him on the whole road. Why would he have to be so much in a hurry? Anyway, so there are the pylons, and of course it's not a unique construction, but it's a bridge which is still relatively unique to its construction because it's so long. I think altogether the construction of bridge plus tunnel, it stretches for something like 19 kilometers. And then since it's over the border and it has this beautiful strains, it's sort of like some sort of harp or a lira or whatever instrument you want to call it, but it's poetic, and you're sort of entering through those pylons. You are making sure that your car is penetrating right where it should, that it's going through good, and then you experience this inner flow, this pleasure, this joy of sort of flying over the water and entering into Denmark. We will be in Denmark in about a moment, but for now, let's just enjoy how this vehicle is penetrating through those pylons. Good time, like really good, at a reasonable speed, and thanks God we're experiencing very little wind, and it's getting lighter second by second. And the very unusual part is that it's getting light sort of behind me. So it's very, very few days in a year where you can see something like this. Denmark. As you can see, we just drove into Denmark. And we are right now on this huge bridge between Denmark and Sweden. And now we will be driving down the bridge and entering onto small island of Pepperholmen, which means pepper island. That's what it means. So this one is a human constructed, manually constructed pepper island, and it's an island between the bridge and the tunnel, and just a little bit, like a couple hundred meters to the right of it, there is a Saltholmen. Saltholmen is a salt island, and Salt Island is natural, but for some reason they decided that they didn't dig it, so they decided to construct. It was probably better geographically to have another sort of island, but now there are those twin islands of Pepperholmen, Pepper Island, and Saltholmen, Salt Island. And I wish that very soon, sometime, I will be able to visit the other island as well. So now here we are approaching the border. This is the border. And for now, I will have to stop so that I can speak properly with the customs people. So bye, and see you on the other side.